On the show, Young and the Restless, in a recap from Thursday, January 22nd, Billy's last answer for Kane is that Victor throws Jack out of the house. It was revealed in the recap for the Young and the Restless Y&R episode that aired on Thursday, January 22nd, that Billy Abbott, played by Jason Thompson, would have a conclusive response for Kane Ashby, played by Billy Flynn, while Victor Newman, played by Eric Braeden, will expel Jack Abbott, played by Peter Bergman. Sharon Newman, played by Sharon Case, will come to the realization that Nick Newman, played by Joshua Morrow, slept on the sofa rather than in the guest room when she arrives at her home. Nick will see a flashback in which he is seen clutching the fentanyl bag on the porch. However, he will not recall what further events transpired. Nick will be persuaded by Sharon to return to the hospital and get checked out, but before he does so, he will want to have a conversation with Victor Newman, who is played by Eric Braeden. Once Jack arrives at the main house on the ranch, Victor will give him the order to remove his hands from Nikki Newman, who is played by Melody Thomas Scott. Both Jack and Nikki will make an effort to explain that it was nothing more than a reassuring hug, but Victor will force Jack to leave. On the television show Society, Diane Jenkins Abbott, played by Susan Walters, and Kyle Abbott, played by Michael Mueller, will be making phone calls in an effort to ensure that Jabbott is able to recover with new goods that are available in stores. When Jack finally shows up, he will provide him with the latest information regarding his confrontation with Victor as well as the news that Kane gave Chancellor to Billy. Apprehensions will arise around the possibility of Billy putting himself in Victor's line of sight. Chelsea Lawson, played by Melissa Claire Egan, and Adam Newman, played by Mark Grossman, will have a conversation with Nikki and Victor about the actions that they have been taking after they return to the ranch. There will be articles published that strongly suggest that Kane and Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford committed computer fraud when they infiltrated the Newman system in order to cause chaos. Adam is going to discuss the state and federal laws that may have been violated in this situation. Amelia Heinel's character, Victoria Newman, has lodged a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission, which will be something that is mentioned. In light of the fact that Victor was the one who stole the AI program first, Nikki will question whether or not that is secure, but Adam will claim that everything appears to be untraceable. Since Phyllis was the one who installed the application, Chelsea will take note of the fact that, in the event that it is traced, all fingers will ideally point to her. There will come a time when Nick will hobble in and obtain the most recent information regarding what Newman is up against. Victor will reassure Nick that he has been taken care of after he inquires about Matt Clark, who is played by Roger Howarth later on. As a result of Nick's suggestion that perhaps they ought to treat Kane in the same manner that they handled Matt, Victor will give the impression that he has given it some thought. However, Victor will first have to deal with a few other issues that need to be addressed. In the episode of Young and the Restless that airs on Thursday, Victoria will unexpectedly enter Kane's train and declare that the Newman takeover will carry place over her dead body. Following Victoria's statement that she contacted Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, she would proceed to reveal that Lily put the phone on speakerphone so that Maddie Ashby, last portrayed by Lexi Stevenson, could hear what she was saying. Victoria will take into account the fact that Maddie and Lily had already finished their relationship with Kane. Nevertheless, after learning about his most recent scheme, they are much more repulsed. Regarding Charlie Ashby, who was portrayed by Noah Alexander Jerry in the previous iteration, Victoria will also take pleasure in calling him. As soon as Victoria makes fun of Kane for the fact that Charlie is considering giving his father another chance, she will insist that the situation is resolved at this point. In spite of the fact that Kane will become angry by Victoria's attempt to use his family against him, he will assert that he does not care and will believe that Victor need to just accept the loss by itself. The criticism of Summer Newman, who was previously portrayed by Allison Lanier, will be directed at Phyllis by Victoria, who will also point out that she never ought to have married Nick. Phyllis will continue to brag about how successful she is in all of this, and she will give the impression that she is completely unconcerned. Victoria is going to make her way back to the ranch, where she will explain everything that happened during her visit to Kane and Phyllis. Victor will, in the end, leave Jill Abbott Jess Walton a voicemail about Kane crossing the line, just as he predicted, and he will anticipate that she will respond to him. The situation with the Chancellor will continue to be a source of contention between Billy and Sally at home. After everything is said and done, Sally will concede that it is Billy's decision, but she will also be responsible for making her own decision regarding their relationship. After some time has passed, Sally will reflect on the events that occurred in relation to Abbott Communications and question how much she can deal with now that Billy is once again fascinated with Chancellor. Due to the fact that she will require someone to vent to, Sally will end up calling Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, and leave a message for her. As for Billy, he will make his way to Kane's train, where he will dispute with Phyllis for a short while before providing Kane with his response. It will be made abundantly apparent by Kane that the answer is a resounding yes, and he will be prepared to move forward with a deal with the Chancellor. According to teasers for The Young and the Restless, Billy may be putting his own tragic fate in motion, so make sure you stay tuned. Make CDL your go-to source for Young and the Restless spoilers, updates, and news. We will have more amazing Young and the Restless spoilers, updates, and news for you to check out.